So we're going to go into the sacred space of the heart, and we're going to go in there fairly slowly and gently with the view that we're going to use this meditation to melt any resistance or tightness you have around the heart or the chest. And this could register between the shoulder blades of your back, the upper body, shoulder tension, or actual difficulties with the heart, such as tremors or arrhythmia. So we'll just begin by taking a few deeper breaths in and out. And the fastest way with breath to begin to relax is to use the diaphragm. So as you breathe in, imagine you're pulling that breath all the way down into your belly. So you're pushing your belly out, stretching the diaphragm. And the diaphragm will then slightly lift up the heart or push against the heart. And this sends a signal to the heart that it's safe to relax, tells the brain and the nervous system that it's safe to relax. So a couple of deeper breaths in and out from your belly. And even as we're beginning this, just these simple belly or diaphragm breaths, begin to notice if there's any tightness or restriction as you breathe. As your chest moves as you breathe, just notice how freely that's moving or expanding. Just beginning to bring your attention down into the body and noticing what's going on in your body. You can spend a few seconds just moving your attention through the whole of your body, all the way down to your feet, down your arms to your fingertips, to the top of your head. Just noticing how the whole body feels. And then coming back into the upper body. A couple of more deep breaths, and this time on the outward breath, just make that outward breath a bit longer. Really sigh out, just letting go of any surface concerns, just sighing out your day, any stresses. Now, as with HeartMath, you can employ the energy or the feeling of love to enable us to enter this sacred space. And in this case, it's love of nature. So we're going to use something called the unity breath to help us access the heart. So I would like you to think about somewhere special for you, or somewhere beautiful in nature, somewhere on the earth. Or if you have love, a deep love for the Mother Earth herself, just bring that in. Think about everything the earth provides for you. And allow that love to be there, to build up. And imagine you're putting all of that love in a small sphere of light, and you're sending it down into the earth. And then wait for her to reply. If you send love to Mother Earth, she'll send it back to you. Even if you don't feel it, just know that that's being returned to you. Imagine yourself as a deeply loved child of Mother Earth and let that fill your heart. And now bring your attention to the sky, to the cosmos. It could be to the sun, the planets, to Father Sky. And allow yourself to feel love for this. Even if it's to think about the sun, the sustaining, life-giving nature of the sun. And taking all that love you have for Father Sky, the sun, the outer cosmos, putting that into a small sphere and sending it up into the sky. And again, knowing that that love is returned to you. You are a deeply loved child of the cosmos, of Father Sky. And now think about that love growing and expanding from these two different sources and for these two different sources. And before we go into the heart, thinking about the fact that you are deeply loved, notice how that feels in your chest. Just notice the heart area. And breathe deeply through whatever you notice. This might feel really good. There might be some kind of restriction. Or you might feel nothing. Just breathe through whatever you notice with complete acceptance, or as much acceptance as you possibly can for yourself and what's here right now. And now there are many ways to enter this sacred space of the heart, but I'm going to do one that's fairly neutral. So I would like you to imagine that you're traveling down, that your consciousness, imagine your consciousness, that part of you that knows, that witnesses, as a tiny spark of consciousness, which can travel anywhere in the body. So imagine that floating down. So your consciousness usually lives in the head. So imagine it there for a second and beginning to sink down from the center of your head to the throat. So get a sense of that. Imagine that here in the throat you're aware of softer surroundings rather than the boniness of the skull. You could even imagine that as you're resting within the throat, you're looking out at the world from this view. lower down. And continue to sink down, all the way down, until you imagine that you're in front of your heart. You're in your chest, and this spark of consciousness, which is you, is facing your heart. And now see yourself, or just intend that you travel round the side of your heart to the back of your heart. Now, if you can't visualize this or imagine it, if your visualization isn't very strong, that's okay. Just tell yourself this is where you're traveling. I'm traveling round to the back of my heart. And as you look at the back of your heart, you notice there's a tiny pinprick of light, like a portal. And as you look at this pinprick of light, or this passageway, this entrance into the heart, it draws you in. It's as if you're magnetized into the heart, and you're pulled in. So just feeling yourself or thinking yourself being pulled all the way into the heart, into this tiny space that has no real physical location. It's an energetic point. And when you get here, it might be dark or it might already be light. If it's dark, just ask that a light comes on, that this place is illuminated. And before we explore this further, notice how you feel. So wherever you are, whether you're inside the heart or whether you're still outside of it, just breathe a little bit more deeply and open up to whatever's here, whatever the feeling or sensation or emotion is. And if you wish, again, just having that intention that something has the opportunity to be released here. Something that might have made your heart feel a little broken or heavy, less than joyful. And as much as possible, let your attention remain in the feelings or the sensations. If you notice yourself going into dialogue, questioning what's happening, asking questions of yourself, just gently stop or say stop to your mind and come back down to the heart. And just ask, what's here? What feeling is in the heart? And by feeling, I mean a state, an emotion, a sensation, an attitude. You might not be able to name it, and that's even better in some ways. Just sit with whatever you do notice. Again, be open to whatever's presenting. It could be as simple as, how have I been today? Breathe into whatever's here, allowing it to release. So now we're going to go a bit deeper into this sacred space of the heart. So if you feel as if you've gone out of it, just allow yourself to be at that portal or entrance, however you visualize it. You might even simply see a door, a doorway, and you move through this entrance, however it appears. Ask to be in this sacred space. And before I ask you to explore what's here for you, try a little bit more visualization. So within the heart, in Eastern philosophy, there's something called the threefold flame of God, or of Source. And it's comprised of gold, golden yellow, sapphire blue, and pink. So I would like you to imagine that in this space, there's a beautiful rose pink flame. And this is a rose pink flame of unconditional, infinite love. So I'd like you to imagine stepping into this flame. It's not so much fire as a form of light ray, but it's nice to imagine it as a flame that you can step into. It envelopes your entire body, your entire energy field. And this flame is always within your heart. So imagine that getting brighter. You're turning this flame up even brighter, allowing your heart to expand. Hand over your cares, worries, feelings to it. And just as an experiment, imagine turning that flame all the way down, diminishing that flame till it's 2 or 3 inches high. And notice how that feels. And this is what so many of us do. We turn down that flame in our heart. Now just let it expand again. Allow it to expand as much or as big as you want it to. And then just trusting that it's there, permeating your heart. We'll spend a minute or two just exploring this space within your heart. Because this space is unique to you. See what you notice. You might see things, visualize things, or you might hear something. You might simply know something. So just ask this space to show you something. And now thanking your heart and your body and whatever else is personal to you, your own higher guidance, whatever's been shown to you this day. Just give thanks to whatever your experience is here, whatever your body is giving you. We're just going to gently leave this space. But if you're listening to this, to the recording of this meditation, and you wish to spend longer in this space, of course, you can just simply pause the recording. So just gently coming out of this sacred space. And taking a deep breath in And then hold that breath for a few seconds. And in the holding of that breath, you're holding whatever good thing you've experienced here. And then let your breath go whenever you want to. And now we're just going to gently come back to normal waking consciousness. And if you wish, as we come back to normal waking awareness, you could leave your attention on your heart in the same way you would with HeartMath, just that awareness of the general heart area. In that field, that vast electromagnetic field around the heart, which will have expanded through doing this meditation as well. Just gently, slowly coming all the way to normal waking awareness. And only when you're ready, let your eyes open.